Failure is a necessary consequence you must experience sometimes as you navigate your way towards greatness. It'll help you travel down roads less traveled during your pilgrimage to prosperity. For Andrew McCorkle and Michael Corkrum, two friends and former restaurant consultants who didn't find success in the hospitality industry, however, had the discipline and wherewithal to pivot and learn a whole new industry. And now they're dominating the digital marketing and social media spaces as the founders of the Cork Bros, a digital marketing agency which helps other businesses find their secret sauce on social media and through digital advertising. They joined me this week to discuss their business journey, overcoming obstacles, their love of sports, and so much more. I'm Kevin McShann. Let's have this conversation. So, gentlemen, if you're ready, we'll welcome you to the program, and we're excited to learn all about your business and you two working together. Great to see both of you this afternoon, and thanks so much for being here.
Absolutely, Kevin. Thank you for having us on the podcast.
Yeah, we're excited to get this going.
So, guys, I know that you started your respective careers as restaurant consultants, and you had to sort of do a pivot into the digital marketing space. So I'll start you off just by asking you to expand upon your journey and how you got to where you are today.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Mike and I started off our journey at Costco, actually. We were at Costco. We were having some lunch, haven't caught up in a while. And Mike actually brought a project to my attention that there was a bar in San Francisco and they needed some help. They lost some recent staff. Their sales were declining. Things were going downhill. And Mike came to me because I had about a decade of experience in the restaurant and bar industry. And he's like, hey, man, could you help these people out? And I was like, yeah, man, let's do it. I'm down to go to San Francisco. And then Mike could tell you what happened from there.
Yeah, so we presented the project to the bar owners, and they said they need to see a proof of concept. So we figured, hey, let's go try to do this for some Atlanta area bars and restaurants. We tried it out. We kept trying to get that proof of concept. Couldn't get it for about 9 to 12 months that first year. We found no traction as restaurant consultants. And so the way the pivot happened is that, and towards the last 3 months of that, we were trying to get in front of owners, and we realized if we provide free food photo shoots, they'd let us in the restaurants, start a dialogue with them. And then, we could talk to them about the other services we offered. But we noticed they only cared about the photos. They only cared about the marketing aspect. And we're like, eventually we're just like, we got to listen to what the universe is telling us. Like, that our value is coming from being marketers instead of consultants.
Yeah, you guys started from humble beginnings. A lot of good stuff happens when you start at Costco, huh? No.
Yeah, exactly.
So can you guys give me just your perspective on overcoming failures and turning that into a positive? Because I know a lot of people, studies show that 50% of businesses tend to fail within the first 5 years of business if you're not on it. So can you just give me your perspective on overcoming obstacles and embracing failure as a avenue for growth?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely. I mean, when it comes to entrepreneurship, really anything in life, when you're first starting out, you're going to be failing. Whether you're learning an instrument, you're not going to know how to hit the right notes. If you're playing a sport, you're not going to hit the shots you want to hit. It's the same thing with entrepreneurship, but I feel like when it comes to business, a lot of people don't give themselves the time and the space to fail and to not hit the shots that they want to hit when it comes to the business arena. They feel like they have to be making money really quickly. They have to be at the top of their industry really quickly. When that's not how anything in life works. Like, you have to know that people are going to tell you no. You're not going to be as effective as you want to. You're going to like know how to execute something, but somehow and for some reason it doesn't happen in real life, and you got to go back to the drawing board. So I think giving yourself that space to fail and knowing that it's part of the game, it's like a continuous and pervasive part of the game. It's not going to stop.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like, you know, a lot of times we're taught in school and our parents try to protect us from failure. And, you know, that protection from failure actually hurts us because, you know, failure means you're at least trying. And when you're failing, that's when you grow the most. Mike and I didn't grow a lot early when we found success. We found that when we found a little bit of success in the beginning, we got kind of complacent, and then our business kind of like went like this, you know, steady for a few months instead of continuously growing. And, you know, it's through failure and failure that we've learned and gotten to where we are. And now we're to a point when we find success, we're like, okay, that's great. Now what's next? So I think failure is highly important for you to learn to embrace if you're going to grow in the world of business.
And tell me, I know that you guys spent some time in the restaurant industry, as we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering your thoughts on how you think of the gig economy and the restaurant industry is going to bounce back from the virus.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, you know, we just learned recently that 100,000 restaurants have closed down, and that's just for this point. You know, a lot of the seasonal restaurants that, you know, are more geared towards summer, I think we're going to see a lot more eventually close down just because of, you know, the seasonality of it, and they've already been affected throughout the year leading up to this. So I think one of the big things that restaurants, the ones that are going to make it, are the ones that were able to pivot and use digital marketing to their advantage and really learned how to connect with their customers and had, you know, so they got on social media. They started doing the delivery apps because, you know, people couldn't come into the restaurant, so they still had to make a stream of income. So a lot of restaurants got on DoorDash, Uber Eats, things like that. The businesses that were able to pivot quickly, I think, are going to bounce back the quickest. What would you say, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see so many, and unfortunately, a lot of them are going to be the mom and pop restaurants that have started closing down and are going to continue closing down.
Yeah.
The ones that we have seen do the best are those ones that can pivot quickly, but also had a strong inroads to their community already. So people really, they're already talking about them. They're already coming in, not just for the food or the drink, but because they like the staff, because they like the culture there. And those are the people that we've been seeing doing actually really well since people could start going back into the restaurants or just ordering online, because those people want to support those communities. So, I mean, you're going to see, unfortunately, a lot of businesses, restaurants, small business itself fold. But I think it's a lesson to the importance of creating community and tapping into your local community going forward.
And I know you guys are in the Atlanta metro area, so I know that you both are sports fans as well.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm wondering if I can get your thoughts on how the Falcons have started this season. They should be undefeated, but they haven't won a game yet.
Yeah. Well,
oh, man. The Falcons.
Yeah. The good news is we're not from Atlanta, so we're not Falcons fans. We're both fans of teams that have caused big heartbreak to the city. Mike's a Patriots fan, and I'm a Bears fan. So I love how the Falcons started their season. I think this has been great, man. I hope they continue to do it.
I think it's a lot of the same. They've been doing this for years now.
Yeah, exactly.
Which means we'll have a coaching carousel surge in Atlanta again, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, Mike, are you happy? The Bears was finally got Mitchell Trubisky out of town yet? Well, not out of town, but
Yeah, no, I'm thrilled for that. I like Nick Foles. I think he'll add a lot to our team. You know, his experience of the Eagles making it to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl MVP. That was a great game too. I think we should talk about how the Eagles overcame and beat Tom Brady in his best game ever. Don't you think, Mike? That's a great.
I think we should keep this moving. But
Mike, so have you warmed up to Cam Newton as your quarterback yet?
I was thrilled as soon as it was announced that we were signing him. Like, Cam Newton's always been a stud, man, and I think giving Belichick a mobile quarterback that's a dual threat is just going to open a can of worms for the league. And I don't even think this is going to be our best year with him. I think once we start spending in free agency next year, the league better watch out. We'll actually get some weapons around it.
Yeah. So are you done with your Patriots withdrawal yet, bud, with Tom Brady, or no, not so much?
Oh, you always will appreciate Tom Brady. I wish him all the success on the Bucs. Unless they play us in the Super Bowl, then he needs to catch an L. But no, I mean, Tom Brady built the Patriots culture along with Belichick and Robert Kraft for 20 years. So much respect. Like, if he wants to go out in his life somewhere else, he's more than welcome to do that.
So, yeah, I'm coming to you guys from Windsor, which is the city right across the river from Detroit. So I'm a Lions fan on heart, sadly. That's one of my faults in life. But, yeah, do you guys think that the Patriots will make the Super Bowl this year?
No chance.
I think there's a chance. I think it's going to be very hard because there's Baltimore and Kansas City in the AFC, and I mean, Kansas City just starting off is a monster. Like, those guys. Man. It's like when the Warriors were running around with their super team. That's what I feel like Kansas City is this year. But I feel like, because football is just one game, anything can happen in one game. I definitely think we're making the playoffs, and Belichick can always game plan some stuff. So I think we have a chance. It's a low chance, but I think we have a chance.
Yeah, but I mean, I think so. Here's what I think could happen, though. I think Lamar Jackson is going to catch that playoff bug, and he's not just going to overcome that in the next few years. So I think if you guys,
he's got to beat the Chiefs first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think if the Chiefs have some injuries, you guys have a chance to beat them.
I mean, maybe, but the thing is, the way the Patriots play now is a lot of time of possession based. We're running the ball a lot, so ideally, if we don't get put behind big early, we can keep the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands. Which it's not going to be flashy, but there's a chance to win, make it a one possession game, and anything happen.
Exactly.
So, Mike, you're going to send out a search party for Khalil Mack yet, or no?
No, like we need some upgrades, especially at the front of the defense, the linebacker core, and then also some doggone receivers, man. Can't just have Julian Edelman hobbled being our number one.
Well, he's been at work for all these years without a wide receiver. So. But, just before we get back to the business side of things, I'm wondering your guys' thoughts on the NBA Finals as well.
Oh, man.
I think this is a great finals, man.
I think it's going to be a sweep myself. But
I think it's a final. I'm glad the Celtics aren't in it. They would have. The Lakers would have won in 3 games if the Celtics were in it. They would have just forfeited and quit.
Andrew's a LeBron fan. Wherever LeBron goes,
yeah, exactly. I'm not a Heat fan. I'm a wherever he at fan.
So you're a bandwagon fan then?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
To tell me?
Yep. Sign me up. I'm on that bandwagon. I'm the first one. I got a lifetime seat for that bandwagon.
Man. Andrew doesn't understand how to watch sports without being a bandwagon.
So you're Corfing. Whatever team wins, that's the side that Andrew's on. Is that right?
Every season, Andrew's happy.
Yeah, exactly. For a while there, Steph Curry's light skinned like myself, so I was a Warriors fan. It just fit. And now that LeBron's back in it, I'm a LeBron fan again.
I think it's going to be a sweep, man. I think the Heat got some injuries. Before the injuries, I thought maybe they could take a game or two, but the Lakers are on a different level.
Yeah.
Do you think LeBron will go into sports ownership once he's done playing?
Yeah, I think so. He already owns. Is it Barcelona? He owns.
No, he has stake in Liverpool, I think.
Liverpool, yeah, there it is. So I mean, we just saw Patrick Mahomes become a part owner of the Kansas City Royals. So I think we're seeing that a lot more in sports.
Well, he has enough money to do that now.
Yeah, exactly.
$500 million on the contract.
So. Exactly.
He's only 23 years old. Must be nice, huh?
Exactly. Hey,
just pivoting back to business for a second, I'm wondering if you can talk to me about the importance of embracing the grind and the grunt work of business, because I know that's a big part of your guys' success.
Yeah, it's interesting. The grind aspect of business is a very interesting topic for us, because early on in our business, we didn't grind nearly as much as we needed to. And Andrew and I have had conversations about this over the past 6 months and sooner, just because it was almost like we wanted things to come easily, and we wanted things to, just kind of have like little resistance. So even if they did give us resistance, we kind of shy away from them. And I think that definitely slowed our growth in a certain way. But once we did start grinding, and once we started having exhausting days, and then the next day having another exhausting day, just stringing them together and really just putting our foot to the pedal, I mean, we've seen our business explode and grow, and it almost makes us laugh now when we weren't grinding as much, and we were like, how could we possibly expect any success? We weren't putting in the hours, we weren't putting in the work, we weren't putting in the research, anything. It just doesn't make sense. We're not going to wake up out of bed and find business success. We have to go and find it ourselves.
Yeah.
Andrew, did you have anything you wanted to add there, bud?
No, I agree. With the restaurant industry, you have to grind all the time. And so honestly, for the first few years of the business, I was, in all honesty, I was okay not grinding so much. I kind of needed a rest from the amount of hours and hard work I put in there. But now that we have a proof of concept and we know that our business works, we have all the tools in our tool belt to really grow this into a big business and to help a lot of people. And so now it's just pedal to the metal, and you got to embrace that if you want to find success in business. You got to sacrifice playing video games all the time. You got to sacrifice going to different family events and missing things with friends, because the business really does have to kind of come first.
And I know that you guys are close friends and business partners. So talk to me about forming that relationship and becoming business partners and trying to separate your friendship to make sure that you also have a business success as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead, Mike. You got some.
All right, I was gonna say, I think uniquely for us, it hasn't required us to separate our friend relationship from our business relationship. Like, we haven't needed two different relationships to be successful in the business. And I think the reason for that is because for about 1.5 years before we even had an idea to do that project in San Francisco, we built this level of trust and mutual understanding through many deep and personal conversations, where we found that, like, the way we saw the world, the things we wanted out of the world were the same. Like, we wanted to achieve very similar things. So I think once we started the business, we always knew we could always trust each other, that our motivations and intentions were aligned. And so there's never been a moment where it's like, all right, Andrew, let's put our business caps on. You've been messing around, or I don't think you're focused or anything, or vice versa.
Yeah, I think, our core friendship was built on the basketball court. We started playing in a basketball league in Lifetime Fitness together. And, that basketball really, really helps us with our business because just yesterday we got to meet up and do a collab with a local influencer playing basketball at LA Fitness. And I haven't felt this rejuvenated in a long time because it just feels so good to be able to play basketball again, especially because of COVID-19 and everything that happened. But I think, as Mike was saying, we haven't had to separate business and friendship because we could still go out and do those things that we love together, and not, there's no friction or anything like that. So
Yeah, we've reached the point in the interview where I asked you about your business. So tell me all about the Cork Bros, guys.
definitely, yeah. So the Cork Bros is a digital marketing team. So we do content creation, photos and videos, and then we make a lot of those photos and videos specifically for social media to perform well. And so what that looks like is an initial strategy meeting where we determine, okay, why are we making content? Because, a lot of marketing agencies will be like, oh, you need to make content. Let's just go make content, hope it works for social media. So we figure out what message you want to portray on social media. We figure out who your target audience is, different things like that. And then we go into the content creation phase, and then a lot of what we do with the content is effectively do strategies on social media. So that looks like a few things. We run social media for some businesses. Sometimes we do a 2 to 3 week project for businesses, or sometimes we just say, hey, here's a strategy behind it, go execute it yourselves, because they don't want to give up control or things like that, or have people on their social media. So that's really at the core of what we do. And then there's the Cork Bros brand. So Mike and I both have Cork in our last names. And so we took that, and we're building a brand around that. We're doing digital series, we're doing web series, we're doing we got some swag and apparel coming out and different things. So Cork Bros Studios is more the business, and Cork Bros is more of our like brand that we're building as well.
Did you want to add anything there, Mike?
Oh no, Andrew covered what we do pretty well.
Good. So if people want to get in touch with you guys, how do they do that?
Yeah, definitely. The best way is on Instagram, the Cork Bros, TheCorkbros. And if you go click the link in our bio, there will be links to all different media that we've been on or been a part of. You'll find our website, corkbrosstudios.com. You'll find us all throughout social media. So that would be the best way to get in touch with us. Send us a DM on Instagram, and let's get the conversation going.
And my final question for you guys is, outside of work, we talked about sports earlier. So what keeps you guys interested outside of making money and social media content?
Definitely. Go ahead, Mike.
Now, what keeps you interested, Andrew? What's you been up to there?
So some of the things that keep me interested is, I like to spend a lot of time with my wife. I got married a year ago here, October 13th.
Your life is over. No, I'm kidding.
Life's just beginning.
That's exactly right. The best part of your life is beginning, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So,
and whatever she wants, she said yes to, right?
Exactly. Well, I'm still in the learning phase of that. There's still some things I'm trying to fight, but I'm learning very quickly.
If you want to stay married, you'll learn that quickly.
Yeah, I am. I'm learning that quickly. So spending time with my wife, my family, big family person. My family's in the best college city in the world, Chapel Hill, North Carolina. So love spending time with my family. Actually, I'm going there for the Thanksgiving, and they're coming here for Christmas. So big family person. And then, there's the basketball, love smoking cigars. I've thoroughly, because I don't drink anymore, so I had to find some substance that could help me out. And so love enjoying a good cigar with some friends. So that's a little bit about me.
What
How
about you,
about
Mike?
Sir Cork?
Yeah, for me, less so during COVID times, but definitely playing basketball. That's always been a huge thing for me. Writing poetry, performing it when we didn't have COVID, going to open mics and sharing my poetry there. I just started playing the piano, so learning that. What else? What else? Oh, that, like traveling, meeting up with friends, seeing new places, new countries, all those different things. Just trying to stay learning, whether it's learning, new skills, or whether it's seeing new places and having new experiences.
Fantastic, gentlemen. Well, I want to take a few minutes to thank both of you for joining me this afternoon for a wide-ranging, interesting, and lively discussion. So thanks so much, and best of luck with your business and personal ventures, gentlemen. Thanks so much for being here.
Awesome. Thanks
thank you for having us, Kevin.
Fantastic, guys. We're done.